Republicans assembled in Milwaukee for the fourth and final day of the Republican National Convention have officially named their candidate for the presidency, which is yet again Donald Trump. His brush with death has fueled the growing quasi-religious fervor among the party faithful, elevating him from political leader to a man supporters believe is protected by God. Immigration has taken center stage at the convention, with numerous speakers slamming President Joe Biden's border policies and falsely linking immigrants to violent crime. Half of Republican respondents to a poll this week said they agreed with the statement that the country is in a crisis and needs a strong president who should be allowed to rule without too much interference from the courts and Congress. The U.S. presidential nominee Donald Trump will be taking the stage in a short while at the Republican National Convention to accept his party's presidential nomination. At the end of night, Trump is set to accept the Republican nomination in his first speech since the attempt on his life last week. He is expected to give a highly personal speech. In a pre-recorded message at the RNC on Thursday earlier, Donald Trump reiterated false claims that his 2020 election loss came as the result of fraud. All right, and DD India correspondent Caroline Malone is joining us from Washington, D.C. to give more information on this. Hello, Caroline. Donald Trump will be taking center stage in a while from now at the Republican National Convention to accept his party's presidential nomination. What is the mood on the ground right now? And what are people saying there? What are their thoughts after what happened with Trump a few days back?
So Trump is due to speak in less than 30 minutes' time. The atmosphere at the convention appears very happy, like a party mood kind of environment, with lots of analysts and people on the ground talking about how, you know, they haven't seen this kind of energy level at a convention for many years. Some of them making comparisons to Obama when he had his convention many years ago. Seeing this as a really joyful time and everyone very excited and looking forward to hearing Trump speak in less than 30 minutes. In terms of what we're expecting him to say, some of the previews have suggested that he will speak in particular about the shooting, and how he wants to try and unite the country after, you know, such an important event in which he just survived an assassination attempt on him. You know, we've heard some of the same messaging from other people who've spoken on that stage, including we heard from Tucker Carlson earlier. He's a former Fox News anchor. He talked about how he thinks the shooting has changed Trump. He also talked about, you know, the human being that Trump is, and that's one of the themes we've also seen with some of his family members taken to the stage, particularly on Wednesday when we heard from Donald Trump Jr. and Trump's granddaughter, Kai Trump, you know, who made an impression talking about her grandfather as, you know, just a normal guy who gives her candy and soda and always asks her how she's doing playing golf. So it seems that, you know, a lot of what is happening on the stage at this convention is both in reference to the shooting, how grateful people are that Trump survived, but also humanizing him and making him someone that's more relatable to the general population.
Okay, Caroline, we heard that Trump is also expected to give a highly personal speech. Any information on that?
That's right, yes. I mean, I think especially with reference to this shooting that everyone's been suggesting has really changed Trump, I think we can expect him to, you know, make a personal speech. You know, we've seen him in earlier days at the Republican National Convention. He's been present in the crowd for the last couple of hours. He was clearly very moved when his granddaughter Kai gave a speech yesterday. And when he arrived into the convention earlier this week, you know, he seemed almost emotional, which is rarely something that we see from Donald Trump. You know, he's known as making a sort of big presence on stage and appearing very strong, but it's rare that we see this kind of emotional side. I will say, though, you know, the lineup of people who are speaking before him includes, you know, a lot of what people would describe as kind of macho celebrities, people such as Hulk Hogan, who is very known as a former US wrestler, very popular, very well known, and also Kid Rock, who is a famous musician here. So they're really, you know, pushing a certain type of theme about Trump.
All right, Caroline, thank you so much for that analysis. We'll keep taking updates from you since it's developing.